We are currently building this great big log cabin, soon to be home to a young farmer and his young family. If you've missed the first 7 weeks of us building this cabin, then here is a playlist that I've put together of the previous 7 weeks. If you're new here, then here's a quick recap. If you've been watching, then you're going to have to watch the recap anyway, because that's how it works. So far on the biggest cabin we've ever built, we've had to endure some terrible conditions just to keep the materials clean and dry. Week 3 brought us a few problems and some more unwanted rain, but we soon got through them, finished the wall logs and started getting the gable ends built up. We then wrapped the building with a vapour barrier and then started the roof rafters. In week 6 we finished the rafters above the porch, fitted all the in-between rafter pieces and had a visit from the building inspector to tie up a few loose ends. And in week 7 last week we membrane and battened the roof ready for the tin. And that brings us to now, the start of week 8, which is very cold, so I think we're going to leave the roof alone and we're going to concentrate getting our vertical timbers on the outside. Couple of very important purchases since the last video. Number 1, new Shaun of the Dead mug, because I broke many Shaun of the Dead mugs and my Colin Furze mug just broke in my bag for no reason last week. So a new one with a different slogan. More importantly though, because of the circulation issues in my hands, heated gloves, which means I can now work a lot harder. Now the first job of the new week is to get the upright timbers to go on the outside of the building, and wait for it, they're underneath other timbers. So Jordan and I wasted no time moving the timbers to get to the timbers we needed. I am not cold in the slightest anymore. I'm going to assume by the way the pallet was packed, they thought that we were going to finish the roof completely first, because all of them timbers that we've just moved are for the roof section of the building. So you've got the gable boards, obviously, which go on the gable ends, then you've got the fascias front and back, and then you've got the cover boards, which are the boards that go underneath inside. They call them the internal roof boards, cover boards. So yeah, we've had to move all them to finally get to these timbers, which are the upright timbers to go on the outside of the building. They're all cut to size, these timbers, so they will land perfectly on the rafters inside and obviously outside. They are pretty much made to measure. You don't have to do much cutting on them at all. But they are that anal with it. I mean, check this out down here, look. So here is a sticker with information on it. So it's a cover board, which means it's internal roof board inside. That's what they just call them, cover boards. But if you look the second field down, 4928, that is the size of the board. Now, if you look at the size of the board underneath, 4927, 4928, 4927. Seriously, they cut a board and put a label on it, which the label is probably about 0.5 millimetre thick itself, to let you know that they've cut that board 1 millimetre shorter. With them now out the way, we can actually get to the timbers we need, and wait for it, it's the green treated sill plates at the bottom. So off we went again, moving bloody timber. Finally, with the timber in hand that we wanted from the very beginning, we can actually now get it in place around the building, which, in the name of the timber, is the sill plate, which goes at the very bottom of the timber of the building. Well, it hasn't warmed up much, not at all. Even with moving around doing work and stuff, it's still just not warmed up. Right, so Jordan and I between us have finished the last bit of the vapour barrier on the end here. If you remember from the previous video, I didn't finish it because I had to do tidying up for him. So we finished that, and we've also put on, if you can see round the bottom, this treated sill, which is basically what the vertical timbers are now going to sit on. So yeah, we're going to now sort them out. We've kind of sorted them out into piles. We're going to sort them out into their relevant areas where they go, and then we can start getting them. So they basically get put on with like a bracket, like a slidey bracket, so they can move because it's a timber building and timber's going to move. So we're going to sort them out to where they go, probably lean them up all the way around the building, as much as we'll get done today. And then yeah, we can start nailing them in. We're now going, yeah. The heated gloves though, they're brilliant, but they're just too much to work in. They're not, you can't, they're good for just standing around doing nothing. I'll give them a Jordan. Now, if you follow this series regular, you'll know who Meg is. Meg's the farm dog. Now, unfortunately, since we left last week, Meg's not been seen since. I'm only joking, she's just there. She's always just there, always, ain't you, Meg? Trust me, I couldn't shake this dog off even if I tried my hardest, and I have tried my hardest, and I just can't do it. With Meg safe and well, I started to load the building out with the upright timbers. Little did I know, I'll be bringing them back in the morning to put the brackets on. That is about as much as you're going to get out of me today, because it's too cold. Going home, see you Tuesday. These are warm. Tuesday morning. I didn't sleep very well last night at all. I was thinking about Kevin, a bit weird to think about him, but I was thinking about Kevin, the work experience lad from last week, and I felt like I was a little bit quick, a little bit too hasty to let him go the way I did. I mean, I know it's the build up to Christmas, don't know if he's got family or not, probably not because it's a bit simple, but I just feel like I didn't give him long enough of a chance. But, you know, it's done now, can't really do anything about it. Anyway, right, so, yesterday, I FaceTimed the girls, and I was all excited, saying it's going to snow all night long here, and you're not going to get nothing, and ha 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 ha. Well, lo and behold, woke up, no snow. Looked on the cameras at home, look at this, snow. Then I get a FaceTime call from one of the children, snowing. And I'm like, it's not snowing here, no snow at all. Which I suppose for work's a good thing. Although over there you can't see way in the distance, it has kind of snowed a little bit on the top of the hills. And it does look rather grey. And it does still say in the forecast we might get some. But it's very cold and it's going to be windy. So what we've got to do is crack on this morning and get these uprights put on all the way around the building. After I found my electric gloves and charged them, because I didn't do that last night because I'm stupid, and had a cup of tea. And look who's here. First job on the to-do list is to make a working platform for the table saw, seeing as someone nicked the trestles I was using the week before. Now there's plenty of pallets lying around the farm, so I'm pretty sure I can knock up something sturdy enough to hold the table saw. Done. Safe as houses. And stolen. Now the reason for the workstation, and indeed the table saw when I get to use it, is because the floor rafters and the building are not sitting flush with each other. The floor rafters are sitting proud about 20mm from the building, meaning the upright timbers will not sit flush, so therefore I need to take out a small section of the timber. This could take a while. So off I went, sawing away like a hungry beaver. That's when I can actually find what I want. Oh, the monotony. It is keeping me warm though. Right, like I said in the voiceover, so why I'm doing this is because obviously the timbers that the building is sat on slightly bigger by around 20mm than the actual building itself. So we picked a side, so obviously the building was pushed to the back. So the back of the building is flush, and so are the two sides and obviously either side of the porch here, meaning that just these three front walls are the ones that are sat back, so the timber's sat out by about 20mm. So I'm literally just running 20mm off of all of the timbers. You can see that there's my pile, which will obviously go up along the front wall. So I've done that side of the porch, I'm now doing that side, then that side, and then jobs are good. So yeah, it's 20, they're all the same size now, and once I've cut them all, then Jordan's going to make a jig thing so that we can put the brackets, which are, I'll show you over here. Where's Meg? Oh, there she is. So as you can see now, these brackets, which they slide, obviously like I said, the timber moves, so the brackets are going to be attached to the timbers all the way around the walls. So yeah, make a jig, do that. I'm gonna go and have a cup of tea in the warm. Kettle's been on, the fire's been on, separately obviously, because they'll blow the electrics. And unfortunately, Meg can't come in because Meg stinks. I'm sorry Meg, but you do actually stink. It wasn't long though before we were back at it, and the first thing I had to do was find the pencil I lost in my workstation. tried that last week, Ben, and it was never going to work, so don't try it again, you moron. Right, cutting, all done, no more cutting. That sunshine, that not good. Wind's picked up a hell of a lot and it's getting colder and colder. So what we're going to do now is make the jig. Well, Jordan's making the jig, which he's been waiting to do all week, because he likes to make jig things. I personally see it as a complete waste of time. All I have to do is just mark the timber here, here and here for where my brackets are going to go, and I could be halfway through doing the job by now. But try and tell Jordan that. No, he wants to make a jig. I'm pretty good at gauging distances and the centre of things. I've always been good at that, and couple that with the fact that you're never going to see these timbers again, I see this as just wasting my time. Eventually the jig was done and I could continue with my job. But not for long. It was short-lived though, and we're soon back out there once again, where it was clear to see that Jordan's jig's all over the place. And that wasn't the easiest thing to say in the world. I was almost rude then. Anyway, on with the job in hand, and out with an old friend. Oh, freezing, absolutely freezing. I don't even think it's that cold. It's probably about like 2 or 3 degrees, but the wind is Baltic. It's just making it feel so much colder. It's like, feels like about -10. I'm pretty sure at some point there's going to be someone in Scandinavia watching this video going, Brits, they have no idea. But to me, it's bloody cold. I've got like an ice cream headache from the wind. Can't find my balaclava. Should actually stop moaning, because Matthew, our customer's 85-year-old grandmother, didn't pack up from Weedon and go in and get warm, did she? But still, I'm bloody freezing. Now, I'm not one to complain about the cold or the wind or anything like that, but -10 wind chill, that's chilly. And so begins the monotony of another day of nailing these bloody brackets on. These things here, they're a pain in the arse using that bloody nail gun as well. Ideal job for a dumbass like Kevin, although he probably would have messed that up as well. So I've done all around the front from the porch round anti-clockwise, and now I've got to do down the back. And there's a hell of a lot more down the back, but at least I don't have to cut them. I just have to put the brackets on. So this one goes just here. Oosh! There you go. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. Hell of a lot more to go. I did count them up. I've got a way of remembering them. Taylor Swift. I don't know about you, but I got 22 to do. Meanwhile, over on the dark side, Jordan was busy shaving some timber down, because remember, whatever came off the uprights also has to come off the sill plates. The threat of the snow from the beginning of the week had finally arrived. Now decision time. Do we carry on working like men, or do we run for cover? At no point in any forecast that I looked at did any weatherman or woman mention anything to do with snow. Nope. It wasn't even much to write home about, to be honest. It didn't even warrant a picture putting on Facebook, so I decided just to crack on. This is how silly Meg is. She's way over there in the field, I don't know if you can see her. And this is what's going to happen when I pick this nail gun up, look. She don't like this nail gun at all. And being right over there, you think, snow and I'm going to stay here. Nope, she'll run all the way back to the digger bucket. Are you ready? Ready? Here she comes. Come on. Oh, mate, my back's killing me. So what, it's keeping me warm though. It's a monotonous, boring job, but it is keeping me warm. What would make even better though was having like a simple work experience lad doing this. But then I'll be bored, I'll be cold, so no, I'd rather do this and save that. Do you know what, I might actually give Kevin a call, you know, because we've got a lot of insulating to do on this building, and most of it is the horrible, well, all of it is that horrible rock wall crap. Yeah, do you know what, I'm going to dig his number out. Plan ahead, Ben, plan ahead. Come on, Meg, let's go.
Do you remember when we couldn't get enough of it all? We kept it going for so long, so long. I don't know where I would be if we let it go. 'Cause every time we try to...
With no help from the nail gun, the last of the large upright timbers were done.
Lost, you know.
Which means I can now file Jordan's jig and never have to use it again. On second thoughts, that's too good for it. I'll file it over there instead. That's much better. Now, just because I got rid of the jig, I'm not in any way implying that I'm done with nailing brackets on timber, because I'm not, because I've got loads of underneath window bits to do now, like these ones, and then there's smaller ones, and there's smaller ones above. So I've still got a lot, hell of a lot. Whew. Let's cut through here. I broke a few, but there ain't much more to go. If you come over here, look, you can see I'm down to the dregs of these upright timbers, because most of them now are in their places around the building. Although I still can't find some numbers, and I seem to have an abundance of other numbers. So it might be a case of cutting some down to make the other ones. And I have broke a few, and I have put some of the brackets on the wrong way around. But I don't care about that. All I care about now is that the light is fading, and that's bringing Wednesday to an end, which means it won't be long before I've got my slippers and PJs on. That's important. Meg's up already. Right, Thursday club. Keep this very short and sweet because the longer my hands stay out of my gloves, the more chance I've got of falling off because it's very cold. It is still -6 degrees. Although I shouldn't moan because our customer Matthew, his grandma, who is about 85 years old, she's already up over there weeding the garden. But I think that's that kind of northern-southern divide. She's hard, I'm not. Right, plan of action, get the rest of these uprights on the building, warm up.
I know as the daylight grows how I am supposed to feel, to make the same mistakes, to be part of something real.
Right, okay, first job of the day, rectify a problem from yesterday. If you remember, I had a lot of timbers to do and put around the back, 22 in fact, and to remember it, Taylor Swift, 22. Very simple. So for some reason I stopped at 20 and I had 2 spare timbers, so I was like, brilliant, great, I'll use them for something else. Now I need to make up 2 more timbers to get to the 22. Simple maths. Now, the problem I've got is the fact that I don't really need the compressor and the airline and the gun and everything for today's job to do these 2 timbers. So I'm going to do it manually, but to do it manually, I can't do it in gloves because it's just not working. So I'm going to get cold fingers. Speaking of my gloves, £35 from Amazon. Very good purchase. They lasted me on full power yesterday for around about 5-hour mark. So very good indeed. Apart from the fact that you cannot really do much working. I do suffer from cold fingers, so I recommend £35 on Amazon, some gloves that will keep your fingers warm, but not if you need your fingers for working. I'm going to make these timbers up on.
And the times are changing fast.
Okay, next job on the agenda, I'm actually going to go inside out the elements, so I don't need that, that's a bit selfie stick, move that, mine out Meg. I need these big battens here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go inside, so where all the floor rafters are inside, I'm now going to have, there's OSB that sits in the bottom, so these little tiny thin battens, they will be nail gunned along the very bottom of the rafters internally, and then we have pre-cut OSB boards which then sit inside there, and then hopefully the Sparky will come in next week and run all these cables in, and then we can put insulation in. So you can't stand on it, I've done this before and fell through it. It's basically just to separate the bottom of the rafters from the top of the rafters for the insulation to sit in. So yeah, get the nail gun, 51mm nails, nail all these in on the edge of the rafters, and then drop in the pre-cut OSB. I'll say pre-cut, but it probably still will need some cutting, but most of it should be pre-cut if Jordan put the rafters in the right places. If. Right, the first thing to do then is to get them in the building and cut down to size without taking out a step ladder. Or a billy. Now for this job I get to use the nice friendly red nail gun, not that horrible evil yellow thing. Poor Meg, look, she can't come in here, bless her. She looks all confused and like, oh, maybe she's going to go in the other door. Or maybe not. Oh, where's she gone? Turns out all you needed to do was change the job that you were doing to realise it's not actually that cold. Cutting them indoors was not the best idea I've ever had, so I decided to cut them outside, making sure they're relatively all the same size, and whip through them with a circular saw. Then feed them through the window, something that Billy recommended, but I just don't listen to him. There's fun jobs and there's not fun jobs. Actually, no job is fun, but this one's definitely not fun. Although it's warm, I'm not cold at all. This is a warm job. So what I've had to do, I've had to nail all the battens on all of the rafters, on each side of the rafters, all the way along this section here. Obviously I've got a lot more to do. I've got to do this. This is just a kitchen stroke diner stroke living space. And then it's going to be OSB'd in between each of the rafters, which should hopefully shore them up. But before I do that, I need to go underneath and pick up all of the rubbish that Billy has dropped. Also, whilst there's no OSB, see if you come down here in the corner, I'll show you. Because when we actually put the building together, you can see that we sat on top of the block work. All the way along the building, it's all sat on top of the block work. So we didn't need joist hangers. But if you can see down here, where certain blocks have been knocked out for air bricks, I'm gonna have to put joist hangers in there. So pick the rubbish up, get the OSB ready, put some joist hangers over them bits. Or you might have a little bit of creakiness in the floor. We don't want that, do we? No, well I don't. I'm pretty sure Matthew and his family don't either.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm giving up. Well, I'm not giving up. I'm getting the airline and the compressor and the nail gun out, because doing that by hand, I just can't be bothered. It's just too much hard work. Now, I really didn't want to do this on a Thursday, but I have no choice, and I know it's for the greater good, so I'm going to have to do it. I've been robbed of a nail.
And everything I need. Always want more money to spend, cause I got these mouths to feed. Then I think about where I've been, and I must believe that if he did it, he'll do it again. God, it's been too good to
If there's any point in my life I could put trust in a Kevin to do a job, mate, this would be it. This is the shittest job in the world. And dangerous. That thing's just like lethal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking necessary evil, unfortunately.
It's sending the hanger like fucking 2/3 away through the. It's like.
Happy days.
It's just dangerous, Billy, that's what it is. Oh, look. It's a telephone number for County Cars in Northampton, eh?
60, 50, 40.
Yeah. I should know. I've got no driving licence.
What I told you, no one knows about, and you keep it that way.
Right, that's all tidied up with no help from Meg at all. When I say tidied up, I just chucked it all out the window. So technically I've still got to clear it all up, but for the sake of the video, it looked better. Right, what I'm gonna do now is go into the pallet over there and look for the OSB. There should only be 2 sizes of OSB. So I'm gonna find them, get them in, and then I can basically say that that section's done. And then move on to the next section. Yeah. I'll do that, yeah.
Core in every bit of pain, so I wanted to say that you'll see me rise. You've seen me crash and burn and fall overboard.
Right, so on closer inspection, it turns out that the OSB that I need, which is about that big, is actually on the pallet underneath. So I think Jordan and I should be able to lift that pallet off. I mean Billy, I don't know who Jordan is.
I will love you, I will have your back.
Time flew by in the beautiful afternoon sunshine, and it wasn't long before it was time to start packing up. The box for that's over there, Ben.
When the world's pitch black.
Am I glad to not see you till next week?
You've given me more than I could ever afford. Swear you will see me right.
I had a nice cup of tea, and after I had a nice cup of tea, I had another nice cup of tea, if I'm going to be honest, because the first one was nice. And after that, I was cameraman Spielberg round there for like 10 minutes. And then I've been trying to open this pallet of OSB for probably about 45 minutes now. And every time I get close to doing it, he calls me around there to do something. So I've decided I'm not going to open it, purely because it's almost time to go home for the weekend. And the last thing I want is exposed OSB to the elements of North Yorkshire. So I'll leave it wrapped up and go around there and help him for the last half an hour. So I'll see you for an outro in my shed. Lens slap. Oh, shite.
See me rise.
There it is. Do you know, that's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last time that we've almost left a camera on site. Anyway, done, dusted, settled, showered, PJs on. 3 hours 45 minutes to get home. Not too bad for a Thursday, pretty good. Week 8. Cannot believe we've been on this job for 8 weeks already. It's literally flying by. Don't know what Billy's plans are for next week, work-wise. It all depends on the weather, I suppose, but it'd be really nice to get like the tin roof on, get the windows and doors in, so we can settle down and work inside and cozy down for like December and Christmas. Obviously not too long, because Matthew and his family and his unborn baby, not Matthew's, he's not bearing the child, anyway, that they can move in, so we need to keep it moving. Weather-wise, wasn't too great this week, but it wasn't too bad either. Weatherman said it was going to be worse than what it was, and it wasn't too bad. It was the wind though. I think a couple of days the wind chill was down to about -10, which was absolutely Baltic for me. And bonus, them gloves from Amazon, £35. I think they're worth £35. Yeah, £35. So they're not the cheapest, but not the most expensive. But they done a great job. They didn't warm your fingers, they just kept them on a level like room temperature, so that you could actually feel your fingers, because I suffer from white fingers and I get cold fingers really quick, and they were brilliant. You can't actually work in them though. I mean, they're good for like walking and stuff, but you can't even get your hands in your pockets. You can't do anything intricate, and also they don't come with any charging cables, so you've got one battery in one glove, one in the other glove, no cables, and they take forever to charge. So make sure you've charged them if it's going to be cold the next day, because you're definitely going to need them. Anyway, I'm just waffling on now. I want to settle down myself, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it one of them. There is a button down there just for that, and subscribe to the channel if you're not, because if you look at this little graphic here, most people who watch my videos are not subscribed. Just hit the subscribe button, it's free, and then turn notifications on, set preferences to all. That way YouTube will let you know when I've uploaded a new video. So next week, again, like I said, weather-wise, hopefully we can get the roof on. We don't know, it is getting a little bit harder, so maybe I might just give Kevin a ring. I do feel bad for him. I might give him a ring and just see if he wants to come back for a little bit of temp work between now and Christmas. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to try and do an Avery video at the weekend, although Storm Bert's going to roll in, so we'll see. You might have seen it by now. If not, you might see it next weekend. But anyway, just if you want to watch something, watch all these. Look, I've put them all into a playlist just here, or you can start with the first one and just, well, you can put them on play. Do what you like, I really don't care. But thanks for watching. Love you all.